I still feel like, something's missing.
Did there used to be more of us?
Hello again and welcome to the February edition of the Year of Shame Challenge podcast. I'm Jayce Stokes and with me I've got, as usual, Darren's here. But unfortunately, Si's had a bit of a problem. Because of all the review copies he's been getting, the CityLink guy who delivers to his local area has put his back out carrying a big massive sack. So Si's in court, pending further action from the CityLink guys. So in his place, we have, you know him as Fox Sounder off the Twitters and off the Xbox. It's Terry. Hello, mate.
Hello, how's it going?
Hello.
You all right there?
Good.
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for joining us. We know you've been part of the challenge and stuff, and we've been talking about it on Twitter. So we thought, who better to have on, and just to keep the flow going of having three hosts, really.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm just glad you've invited me on. Thank you very much.
It's okay. Well, I'd heard slightly different rumour about Mr. Stevens. Apparently, it wasn't the CityLink guy that did it. Apparently, he went into his gaming room, he knocked the pile of his review copies, and he's been trapped under them for the last week.
No, that's a big part to get out from under, right?
Well, yeah, I know.
It's a dangerous game.
So I think we'll just start off with what we've been playing. And as you probably remember from last month, we had Floppy Feb. So we had Saints Row the Third, which we're still all playing. I know I keep seeing it pop up on Rapture and the likes. There's quite a few people playing it. So yeah, I've been playing that. I've gone through all the main story and I've got, I think, 3 Chivos to clean up on. What a fantastic way to spend a week off. I played co-op most of it and just enjoyed every single minute of it. What an amazing game.
Yeah, it just makes you think, why have they not made a Grand Theft Auto in co-op, and how much fun that would be, you know what I mean? Can you imagine, I know Saints Row is only a 2-player co-op, can you imagine a 4-player on GTA after playing that? That would just be the best ever. And that's always what I wanted from GTA, really.
Yeah.
I think the good thing about Saints Row is that it takes the silliness of what Grand Theft Auto kind of used to be. Grand Theft Auto, I feel it just took itself really seriously, and that really put me off the game. Saints Row the Third, though, just brought it back to that really bloody over-the-top silliness. Yeah, absolutely adore that game. It's so good. Cleared it, completed, 100%, 5 done, but it doesn't stop me from going back to it, though.
Yeah. I did notice that there's, I think it was on IGN, about a week back saying Saints Row the Fourth should be out by the end of the year.
Yes, please.
Which makes me very happy.
Want.
Let's just hope it's after the end of September.
Yeah, it's going to be painful.
I was obviously in a mood where I didn't know what to play, so looking at this, I played some Halo Wars, just doing some co-op on that with the missus, which was okay. I fired up DC Universe Online, which I don't know why, I just must have been in an MMO mood. I did have to leave it overnight to download the 15 gig update. Now, I've got a 30 meg connection in the house and it still took overnight.
15 gig update?
Seriously. I fired it up, I'm just like, give
Mate,
it up.
I struggled to do a normal update on the PlayStation without it taking hours. That must have been painful, man.
It was overnight on a 30 gig connection. 30 meg connection. It was ridiculous.
Jesus.
I did play some... Has anybody been playing the DUS 514? So, the EVE Online integration first-person shootery thing?
No idea. No idea what.
No, I saw that at Eurogamer, and I was interested to hear more about it. How's that playing?
It's not bad. It is a first-person shooter with an RPG element as well, and it's not bad for a free game. It's definitely worth looking at. I mean, obviously, it's got your pay to win, so you can go in there and you can buy this armor and that armor. But if you're willing to grind, it's not bad at all. It's pretty much capture the flag or like domination. That kind of thing. In fact, do you remember Battlefield 2142, I think it was?
Yeah.
And you know where you had the 2 flying bases and you had to go and take over the rocket silos and then they would fire the rockets, take down... Do you remember that or not?
Oh, vaguely, mate. Now you're saying
Yeah, okay. Pretty much it's like that. And to be honest, for free, I was just like, well, why not? I then completed a game that I've had on the PS3 hard drive now for about 3 years, and it was Ratchet and Clank Booty Quest, and it was one of the free games we got. You know when Sony lost all our details?
Which time?
The first time when they apologised by giving us free games. They give us that. So I powered through that, and it was all right. It was a dirty trick by Sony because it was the middle game of a trilogy. So you started playing, it was like, I don't know what's going on. It ended and it leaves with a to be continued. I thought, I'm not buying the other two.
I think I downloaded that in Infamous when that was, when that happened. But
yeah, that's right.
I think I played about 10 minutes of it and then just kind of gave it up as a badge. I was like, yeah, delete.
Yeah, it wasn't a good game, but it was one of those take your brain out. You know when you put on one of those films where you're not really interested in it, but you just want to get through it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of them. Played a little bit of Vita stuff, so Jetpack Joyride, but I don't seem to have gone back to that for the last week. So a bit of Everybody's Golf, but again, I don't.
You're still hating that?
No, I got through an entire course thing on the super easy setting. I know, but I still lost some. And then finally, I've been playing some StarCraft, more in the arcade selection, some tower defense stuff. And I tell you, it's if you've got StarCraft, going to I think it's called just the arcade section, and there's a lot of people that have made their own content with inbuilt engine, and it was just really good. Some of the stuff is really good. Jayce, what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? I've actually been playing a game that isn't Halo, which is good. You might remember I picked it up on Just Play It a few weeks ago, or 3 months ago, sorry, and didn't actually get around to it. But I've actually finally gone back to BioShock 2. Okay. Really loving it, fully immersed in it, playing it on my headset, really feeling my way around Rapture and stuff. I think I'm probably about 70% through that at the moment, looking at the achievements and stuff like that. So I've been blasting through it, certainly this week. And I've been nice. It's been nice to get back into a story, into a proper single player story. So that's hopefully going to G me on to do a few more things. I'm trying not to be uber collectionist on there, but yeah, I have to keep going back and making sure I've got all the sisters and everything like that. So I'm trying, mate, but I'm certainly playing a game anyway.
Yeah.
The other things I've been playing Final Fantasy VII on my PC. Just because it's there, and every so often I see the icon and I have to play a bit. It wasn't on my list for the games to play because I've completed it X amount of times. I don't need to play it. But that's just something that's been occupying a little bit of my time. Okay. And the only other thing that is on my list is Burnout Crash. I'm still struggling through it. It's one of those games where you have to get 3 or 5 stars on each level and stuff like that. And some of the things are just ridiculous challenges, but it's a Burnout game-ish, and I quite enjoy it just as a chill-out game when I go to bed and stuff. When I can't really concentrate on it on a proper full-on game. So I'm getting a few stars on there. I think I'm on 200 stars out of 270 maximum. So I'll probably go for the 270 maximum stars on that because that's what I do. And move on to the next stupid game. That's about it, mate. I haven't had a great deal of time, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll have a bit more time now. I'm on gardening leave before my new job, and then it all goes downhill when I have to get some responsibility in my life again.
Indeed. And Terry?
Pretty much been going balls deep into Dead Space 1 and 2. I played both of them on the PS3 pretty much when they came out. They're brilliant, fantastic games. Instant laxative. The scares that's in that game, they are really, really good. Very atmospheric, very story-driven in that sort of stuff. Tailored towards more single-player experiences, so that's right up my alley. Played a bit more Borderlands 2. Had it when it first came out, played for it for about 10 hours or so, and then just stopped.
Yeah, I did the same, and you've done the same as well, Jayce.
What was that one? Sorry, mate. I was asleep then.
Borderlands 2. We all bought it release day, and everybody just kind of stopped.
Yeah, my problem with Borderlands 2 is the same thing I've got a problem with Saints Row 3. I haven't been playing that because my main co-op partner, as you know, is Majin Willie, who I do the console ninjas with, and he got rid of his copy or lent out his copy of Saints Row, so we haven't been playing that. Yeah. And we're both determined to get through the Halo campaign on Legendary before we go back to Borderlands, and I think we're close to that, and we'll be hitting that again soon.
Cool.
Yeah, for me, it was just a case of a new game comes out, you start playing that, and then it just kind of goes further and further down the pile as new things start to kind of just add up on top of it, and I think that was my problem, and then just kind of going through it the other day and thinking, I have no idea what to play, and then just kind of picked it up and it instantly got back into it, and I think I've put about 5 or 6 more hours into it, which I know is barely scratching the surface on that game, but it's, again, another brilliant game. A lot of co-op games I just tend to play single player. Again, completed 100% Saints Row the Third. I completed the main story. Got the full 1,000 gamers points, and then just went back to do the 3 DLC packs. Yeah, absolutely amazing game. It was nice to jump back into that world and just the absurdness of that game. It's really good.
But I think what you mentioned before, I think that's one of the problems and why we started the challenge was something new comes out, and Borderlands 2 is a fantastic game, but because new stuff has come out, it just, as you said, drops down the pile.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it was more of a case of at one point it just used to be a case of, I think I used to be addicted to just buying the games, not necessarily wanting to invest a lot of time into them. Obviously, like big releases and that sort of stuff, I'd really get into. But yeah, it was more about buying the games than actually playing them. I needed it on day one, or sometimes even before then, and yeah, they just got pushed back.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, we've all had a very similar problem. We see something in the shop, we give it shiny, and buy it, and then. I mean, the fact that I managed to sell, I think, about 50 Class 1s just shows how many I bought just because they were on the shelf.
Yeah, there was quite a few there that I managed to sell and that I'd not even touched, but it was just nice to clear out and make more space.
Yeah, indeed. What have we picked up? Now, this section will be short because Ty's not on. Now, I picked up a game. I had no choice. The Steam sale back in August, I think, the summer one. I bought a Star Wars Jedi Knight pack, and it had about 5 games in there, and I think there was only 1 or 2 that was available on the Mac. But Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy has now become available on the Mac, so that's instantly dropped into my collection. I mean, I haven't downloaded it or anything, but it's now available. And I did sign up for Elder Scroll Online Beta. I know. I don't know why I did that. But I think the beta testing at the moment is only out for Windows. So when it does become available on the Mac, then I'll be dropping in on that. But at the end of the day, it's a beta, so I won't be spending any cash on it. So it's not a biggie, is it?
Yeah, it's probably not going to come out until post-challenge, I don't think, mate. Or very close to the end.
Yeah. I put a note here that I did want to discuss. I was thinking of... I've pretty much got rid of most of my physical copies of games. I've got a lot of games on the shelf which I'm never going to get rid of. For example, the Halos and the Borderlands and stuff like that. Now, what are your thoughts on transferring a physical game into a digital game? So buying the digital copy instead?
My initial thought is it's a fucking expensive way to do it, mate.
It is, but... Okay, let's say Borderlands, for example. If you went and bought it, it's probably, what, 20 quid?
Yeah.
Physical copy, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, it'd probably be about the same on Xbox Live now.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm going to say they can be pretty expensive on Xbox Live. I mean, even a new copy of Dead Space Online was, I think, like £15, and that came out in 2008, so, yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It was just thoughts on games that I know I'm not going to get rid of, because there are some that have to stay in the collection. And I was just thinking about digitising those. And then get rid of the physical copies, but
it kind of goes against the money thing, doesn't it? That's the problem.
Yeah.
I think if anything, if you know you want to go back to those games, they're not going to change in value. To be honest with you, you're not going to get much for some of those games now, and the prices are getting to that point where they're £5, £6, £8 to get, and they're not going to go down anymore. So you may as well just keep them. They're just in limbo, really.
Yeah, it's a valid point.
But it's only the classics, isn't it, that you're keeping?
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest, I think I made that note when I was in the prime of my eBay selling.
I think the difficulty being with this is the fact that you don't actually know, like, all the rumours going around about the new generation of consoles. Do we know if they're going to transfer over?
Yeah, that's a valid point. Because to be honest, I've probably got 50, 60 games that I've not even started yet on the Xbox. And I'm thinking, if we've not got backwards compatibility on the next gen, then... I'm going to be keeping a 360 around for quite a while.
Yeah. I mean, with all the rumours that's coming out about them, it doesn't sound too good, to be honest with you. But, I mean, all the the pre-owned games and not being able to use those again, it's, doesn't sound good. Yeah. No, not at all. Jayce?
The only thing I've picked up this week is I won a little Twitter competition for 800 Microsoft points from Honest Xbox Reviews, so that was really good. I'll probably go and spend that on another copy of Carcassonne. There's a long history of me with the Xbox Live version of Carcassonne where it robbed me, but I need to, because I'm playing a lot more digital board games and that now with people. I want to add that onto my collection. So that's probably what I'm going to spend that on. And that's not one that needs to go on the list because I've already got all the achievements for it.
Excellent.
So, yeah, that's that.
And Terry, did you pick it up?
No, the one thing I was going to mention was a while ago, Now TV was doing an offer basically where you could claim Microsoft points for using the Now
That's
TV.
the Sky thing.
Yeah, the Now TV. It's the instant streaming basically. I think it was like free for the first month. You got 800 Microsoft points. I believe it was the second month you got 1,600 Microsoft points. I still haven't received them yet. They've just charged me for the second month, and I've still not received them yet. Also, I think I've missed out on the free Nintendo game as well. I didn't seem to receive my email about that one, so pretty bummed out about that. But I've got plenty in my pile to go through for now. So
was it a 3DS XL you've got, isn't it?
Yeah,
because it is.
Yeah, it's the XL one, and I chose the Professor Layton game.
Right. Okay.
I believe I got the code and then never heard from them again. So yeah. So I'm just kind of riding that wave at the moment. I think I'm kind of past that point now. So
okay.
Don't know if it had a time limit or not.
So what have we missed? I've got a few things that have been flagging up. Devil May Cry. I mean, it doesn't help listening to Midlife Gamer podcast as Matt's gone on about it now for the last 3 episodes. Now, I've played it at Eurogamer and absolutely loved it, and I am kind of missing that one. Heart of the Swarm comes out on the 12th, is it, of this month or next month? The StarCraft 2 second chapter thingy.
Not sure.
And that comes out on the 12th of some. Oh, I do. I sure do. I tell you what, for some reason, they've now released Half-Life, the original Half-Life, on Steam, on the Mac. And now I know I can't have it. I want it.
Is that the one that's re-released with like up-res textures and stuff like that?
No, that was
it the original?
That was Black Mesa.
Okay.
Somebody reskinned it for free, I think.
Nice.
But they've released the original version on Steam Store, which you can go buy. And for nostalgia purposes, I wanted to go and play that, but oh well.
How many times have you completed it though?
Oh, many times. But that's the point. I mean, it's like Jayce with Final Fantasy VII. It's there, so you play it.
Yeah.
Jayce.
Yeah, after Eurogamer and stuff, where I played a bit of Aliens, Colonial Marines, I was looking quite forward to this game. And I knew it was going to be one that was going to try and tempt me away from the challenge. I knew it was coming out this week, and I had a bit of one of my little relapses where I think, I don't really need this challenge. I want to play Aliens co-op and stuff like that. As it turns out, everyone says it's a pile of arse, so I'll probably dodged a bullet on this one.
Which is a shame.
Yeah, it's a bit of a waste. Given that it's Gearbox and everything as well, and they usually do such good jobs on things, it's going to be another one that's seen as a waste of a good franchise and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, if I can just tell the audience, your relapse was... it was like... I'm not doing the Euroshame challenge anymore. I don't have time to play any games. I don't have time to play any games. So you want Aliens then? No. I don't. It's nothing to do with that. I just don't want to do the challenge anymore. I don't have the time. So if you haven't got the time...
It was one of my moments of weakness, mate. But that's what you're there for, to get me back on track.
Yeah. Terry?
It's not come out yet. Metal Gear Rising. I'm so disappointed I can't get a hold of that game. I stupidly spent my Joker on COD Blops 2. Oh, no.
Oh.
And then...
Well, no, actually what happened was, because you had it on pre-order, it came through, didn't it? And you went, oh shit, I've got Black Ops 2. And I said to you, send it back. And you went, no, you went, yeah, okay, I'll send it back. Then the next thing I see, you're playing it. So it's like, all right, you class that as your Joker then, that's it, game over. You're like, yeah, all right.
Yeah. Stupid bloody mistake, to be honest with you, but there we go. But
was it worth it?
Fucking no. I've put a lot of time into multiplayer, but 4 hours later, you're pretty much done with that single player. You can go through on the hardest difficulty in probably about 5-6 hours, and you're not really breaking a sweat. It's don't get me wrong, it's Call of Duty. What can you say? I'm not a big multiplayer fan, but to be honest with you, I mean, I've been playing a lot of multiplayer on COD Blops, and then I've just suddenly stopped to kind of move on to other things. But same as Jayce, Aliens Colonial Marines. I kind of feel like I've dodged a bullet, but then again, have this weird fascination of playing really shitty games. Do we want to get onto Resident Evil 6? It's just one of those. But I'm a big Aliens fan, so I was really looking forward to it. And then just kind of seeing all the stuff coming out, it looks dire, but I really want to play it.
Yeah. You need to experience it for yourself, I think.
Yeah, but Metal Gear Rising is the main one I'm going to be crying into my pillow about.
Well, just send me a text and I'll sort you out.
No,
from where I did Jayce. So, thoughts and feelings. Now, I've got to the point now where I've run out of games to sell. I've just got digital copies and the stuff on the shelf, which just isn't going anywhere. Because either that or I've not completed them. But I'm glad to have filtered it all down. I think in the end, well, according to the list, I took 48 games off the list. But I had some on the shelf which weren't on the list anyway. But in total, I've probably sold about 60 games, which it's kind of cleansing. It's like a massive weight's been lifted off my shoulders seeing all these shelf space. It's amazing. Another thing that's kind of thrown me a little bit, and I've been waiting for this for a while, the EA Origins has now got a full Mac client with its own e-store in there and everything, and I was like, oh god. However, I did have a look through the games, and 90% of them are Sims. Sims 3 and all the add-ons, so I'm like, oh, well, we're all right.
Or you can get your Katy Perry Sims on, mate.
Yeah, of course I can. And then, again, there's a lot of public betas coming up. So there's Dust 514, which I was fine with, Elder Scroll Online. But to be honest, I'm thinking when these drop and actually go full price, then we should be at the end of the challenge. So I'm not too worried about those. Well, Jayce, you've had your moment of weakness. Apart from that, how are you getting on?
Same as ever, mate, really. Not having time to really worry about it. I haven't started selling any games yet. I'm looking at my shelf as we speak now, and I know there's a lot there I can sell, but it means I've got to get round to doing it. And I can never be arsed, to be honest. I know it needs doing. I don't know.
It's probably worth doing before the next gen, well, before the end of the challenge at least, because I think
definitely.
Some of these games are going to be starting to worth a lot less money.
Well, what I'll do, I'll get you to go through me again. Tell me what I need to do, just to make sure I'm fully au fait with it. And in fact, I might just bring them over to you and get you to sell them.
I'm going to say I'm just going to have this package turn up at my door, aren't I? It's like, I'll just sell those for you. Terry, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
Apart from Metal Gear.
Apart from that, yeah. I mean, I've felt inspired by what you were saying. You know, when you was starting to sell things on eBay. Tried to go down that route, and then eBay blocked me from selling games. I think I was allowed to sell 5, and then it stopped me. But I think I made about 50, 60 quid on the first 5 games, which was pretty good. And then I've just been selling a ton of Blu-rays and random stuff, and the shelf space. It's nice to have free space on my shelves again.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I mean, going on to what we were saying before, I was thinking about doing going down the digital route in my games, but for now I'm just going to wait until eBay lift my restrictions, and I'm going to be selling probably the majority of these buggers. Just wait for the next gen.
Yeah, indeed. So we've got the Just Play It section now. Obviously February is Floppy Feb, and we're all kind of ish playing that. You've now completed that, Terry, so you've been taking part in that. I keep seeing Psy pop online. What actually made me laugh was one of the first achievements that popped for him was the gender equality, where you pay 2 hours as a female, 2 hours as a male. I was thinking, I'm sure I did missions before I did that. But if that's the way he wants to play, that's the way he wants to play. And I've seen Who You Dafty, he's playing it as well, and there's been a few others playing it as well, so that's good. I've decided from now until the end of the challenge that I've just got too many of the same game, so open world-ish, RPG-ish games. So I think from now until the end of the challenge, that's all I'm going to be selecting, so I can get in there and get them finished off. So my 5 for March, if you'd like to pick one of these, is Batman Arkham City. I've still got all the DLC to finish off on that. Rage, I've got about 3 hours into that. Red Dead Redemption, I got as far as the first town and even spent about 30 hours in there just skinning everything. I was like, oh, stop it. Assassin's Creed 2, I think I got onto Chapter 5 of that. And Mass Effect 3, I've got all the DLC and I haven't gone past those yet. So one of those would be ideal. It's probably worth something I put at the beginning of the notes here. Now, what I found quite off-putting was I think the one for January, I got Everybody's Golf and I got Zelda. And to be honest, switching between two games that I wasn't that keen on playing in the first place, I just found that I didn't really play either of them. So how are we going to work it if we get 2 votes for the set? So basically we get an option of 2 games to play. Is it worth just getting the other hosts just to pick one?
No, it gives you a choice, mate. If it's undecided, then leave it in your hands. It's just helping you narrow it down, really.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
That sounds fair.
Jayce.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Along with you then, Daz. Here we go. Right.
Okay.
Dark Souls.
Right.
Fallout New Vegas.
Wow.
Good luck. In for a penny, mate. Just Cause 2.
Right.
Holy shit. Nier.
Right.
And Skyrim.
Fucking hell. Okay, right.
However, bear in mind, I'm on gardening leave, so hopefully I can have lots of late nights. That's what I'm aiming for, is late night gaming.
Okay, so unlike every other month, you've actually got to attempt to play one.
Yes. I've actually got to do it now. Well, like I said, I've been playing Bioshock, so I'm in the zone of actually playing games.
That's last month's game.
Yeah.
Okay. Terry, do you want to give 5 games that you wouldn't mind playing, and let's get the audience to pick, and we can discuss that on the forum?
Let's see. Let's call this games I've completely forgot I even had. Resident Evil 5 Gold Edition.
Right.
Let's see. Here's an obscure one. Deadly Premonition. Have any of you guys heard about that?
I briefly heard it.
Extremely obscure Japanese game. Go with Peace Walker. Dead Island. I'm about half an hour into that game. And then Just Cause 2.
Excellent. Okay. So we'll stick those on the show notes. We'll stick them on the forum. And if somebody be kind enough to push Terry in the right direction, and Jayce and myself as well.
Someone wants to come around and play it for me.
Yeah. Now the Yoshi section. The Year of Shame host interrogation. We've only had a few. Drunk Rogue. I dropped out Twitter just asking how people are getting along because, to be honest, it's been kind of quiet. So I'm just wondering how many people have had a moment of weakness like yourself, Jayce, and just decided they're not playing the challenge anymore.
I know there's a few that have dropped off. Welsh Benno, I'm looking at you.
Drunk Rogue or Drunk Rouge.
You're still doing that joke of it?
Yeah, come on, it was funny. Terry, just for your sake, down at Eurogamer, we all had name tags.
Okay.
So obviously mine was D512, Jayce was Jayce Stokes. Drunk Rogue, whoever made the badges spent Rogue as Rouge. So he spent the night with the badge on saying Drunk Rouge.
And you never let him forget it.
I know. So he says, mine's going okay, a few games off the pile of shame, but Lara Croft out next month. And that's when mine will come to Shudder and Halt. Which, fair enough. I think he's doing 2 for 1 anyway, so completes 2 games and he can have a new one. So that's good. ADHD says he's not struggling with a challenge, he's struggling with trying to find time to play games, which is like yourself, Jayce.
Yeah, we've got on that one, mate.
And we had a question from Drunk Rogue, and he says, what's the worst game you have played and removed from your pile of shame, or do you think it's still in there to be played? I think for myself so far it has been Transformers Animated on the DS. I'm a big fan of Transformers, and that game was just dire. I couldn't wait to get to the end of it. I should have just stopped playing it, but I thought, well, it's here, so I might as well just complete it. Jayce?
Anything with the word Gears and War in the title. I've got 2 of them on the list. Yeah, they're not in my immediate future because I don't really like Gears at all. I don't know why I've got all 3 games.
Okay. Terry?
Resident Evil 6.
Right.
Yeah. I got through all 3 campaigns, fucking struggled through all those, and then just eventually shipped that off to someone else. Couldn't get it further away from the pile if I tried. I don't ever want to look at that game ever again. It was so bloody dire. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Fucking
okay.
Evil 6.
We had an email in, our first email from Trev DXB, and he says, "Hi guys, Happy New Year. I know it's a little late. Now that everybody's a couple of months into the pile, have you been tempted by FAQing game just so you can get it through the pile? I must admit, he nearly FAQ'd Far Cry 3, but the advice was clearly wrong, so he went and bought a map and piled through it." Have I FAQ'd through... I did FAQ all the way through a game just to get it off the pile, but I can't remember which one it was. Dark Sector. It was one of those games that it was that old, and I'd got about halfway through. I had no idea how the weapons worked because it'd been about 3 or 4 years since I touched it. And to be honest, it wasn't an interesting game, so I just facked my way through the entire thing. Jayce, have you... Oh, well, no, you probably won't.
You should know this, mate. FAQs are against my entire religion and will never be clicked on by me. Unless it's a really random, obscure achievement that I need to get to finish something off, I really don't go looking for stuff. So, no, actually.
Yeah. Terry?
I like to struggle my way through games.
Good man.
Yeah, try and find everything, every side little bit and piece. The only thing, I still haven't achieved it yet, in Deus Ex Human Revolution, it's one of the only achievements I have left to platinum that game, which is find these really obscure ebooks. But there's literally hundreds littered throughout the game, and it's only like 20, 25 specific books, so you have to go through every nook and cranny, and I just created a list, and I'm just literally just crossing them off as I'm going along, and I've still not got them all yet.
Wow, that's commitment.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because there's a lot of ebooks in that. In fact, Jayce, avoid Deus Ex. Just thinking about it, actually, there's a lot to distract you from the main story.
Yeah, that's not... It's... Yeah. Stay away from it. It's not good.
Mate, I've just put Just Cause 2 on my list. If that gets picked, you will never see me again.
Yeah.
I think I'm about 15 hours into that game, and all I'm doing is like liberating various sections. I've not touched any of the story yet. You'd be at it forever. You'll lose you until the challenge is finished.
Right, well, just to wrap up where you can find us. Obviously, we're on Twitter at YoS Challenge. We've got a personal Twitter account, so we've got Jayce Stokes, we've got myself, which is D5120. If you want to follow Terry, or in fact, if you want to add him on your game centre and then play the Can Knockdown, he's that guy at the top.
All challenges welcome.
But you can find him under Foxhounder01. And I think that's you on everything, isn't it, Terry?
Pretty much, yeah. I think I'm on Steam under something else, but I'm pretty sure you can still find me under Foxhounder01.
Yeah.
But yeah, everywhere else, Foxhounder01.
Fantastic. If you do want to send us an email, like Trev DXB, it's yoschallenge@gmail.com, and he's proof that we do actually read them. And that's it for this show. And so we'll be back next month with or without Si. We don't know. Until then.
Yep, see you later. Thanks a lot.
And
goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.